Welcome back. Excited to be joined by Razorback legend Hunter Henry of the New England Patriots. Now, Hunter, it's been a while. Can you believe it's been 10 years since the Henry Heave? It's a big thing. We've been talking about it all week long. Can you believe it's just been 10 years since that play?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about, man. Yeah, time flies for sure.
Absolutely. And let's talk about kind of that Ole Miss game, right? It's a big weekend for the Razorbacks right now, and with that play 10 years ago, you guys go into Oxford in that game and kind of looking for a spark coming off a big win against Auburn. What was the mentality of the team as you guys headed into Vaught Hemingway Stadium looking for a big upset against the number 19 team in the country?
And it's hard to think back that long of our team and everything, but it kind of feels like yesterday, but a long time ago as well. Man, just some good times, man. Obviously, we struggled. We had some stumbles early in the season, but I felt like really rebounded that year and had a pretty fun year down the backstretch against some really good football teams and beat some really good teams on the road and had some big wins at home. And then going into Ole Miss was, we obviously knew the challenge of stepping in there that year. They had knocked off Alabama, if I remember right, and they were like in contention. I'm pretty sure to be in the SEC championship. So we knew that there was a big task ahead of us, but we felt really confident, especially offensively. I remember just we were on a roll, man. We just felt like we were clicking, and really just no one could really stop us. And I mean, obviously, we kind of showed it that day.
The game itself goes really back and forth. Brennan Allen throws 422 yards, 6 touchdowns, has an incredible day, and it comes down to kind of the end, 4th and 25. Let's talk about the play. What do you remember from catching the ball and laterally it back? Take us through your mentality 10 years ago for the Henry Heave.
Yeah, it was obviously, like you said, a wild game, man. A lot of back and forth. It was a fun game to be a part of for sure. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. But if I remember right, we had a sack, a penalty, a couple things. Obviously, got us backed up, and the whole place is rocking. The game they feel like they have the game in hands, which honestly felt like that a little bit on our side, and we had a game plan play in with an all go concept on the right side, and I was on the nub side by myself, and I was running a little underneath route. Pretty much that was our game plan that week. And when we called a timeout before the play, and they said they were going to call that, and I was just kind of like, I went up to my tight end coach Lunny, and maybe another coach, and was just like, "Hey, put me on one of the deep balls. Like I want to be down there where I can make a play because that's I thought that's where the ball was going to go." They're like, "Let's just run it how it's been run." So in my head, I didn't really even tell anybody what I was going to do if I got the ball. But in my head, I was like, you know what? If they throw the ball to me, I'm probably going to be about 15 yards, 10 yards short. And if I get hit right away, I can't make the first guy miss. Like I got to do something. And so that's kind of my thought process going into the play. And then obviously the play played out how it did. And same play. And what a way to get a win there.
What was it like seeing Alex Collins run for that first down? Because and everyone thinks of that play. There was a couple plays after that really gave you guys the win. The Drew Morgan touchdown and the 2 point conversion by Brennan Allen. But when you got the first down, was it the mentality right to the next play, or was it, hey, let's celebrate this? This was pretty cool.
Man, everybody ran over to me and was just like shocked that I did that and just kind of blown away, honestly. And honestly, it was just kind of shocking how it all played out. In a way, once you get in that mode, sometimes you think we got to get a touchdown. And so, in a way, I thought, if you see Alex, he kind of pitches it back at the end because he was thinking the same thing. And luckily, I think it was Dominic Reed was sitting right there and got on the ball. But luckily, you know, I was kind of like shocked, like, oh, are we good? Like, we're gonna keep playing? And then it was just kind of like a crazy environment and hard to like comprehend how we were all feeling, just with everything going on. But then we had to refocus and have a few more plays to put in the end zone.
Ultimately, you guys go on, win the game, get the big win on the road. Do you remember kind of the scenes in the locker room after and even later that night when you guys ultimately got back to Fayetteville? What was that like, kind of just reminiscing and spending time with all of your teammates after a big win like that?
That was a one-on-one experience, man. One-on-one, something I'll remember forever. Just the locker room. There's nothing better than a winning locker room, but a locker room with a game like that was pretty special to be a part of with your boys. And then just guys that we had been through a lot together. We went through some struggles. Lost a lot of close games, and to come through in a big game like that on the road in the SEC was big for our guys, and just man, yeah, incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Last question I have for you, then we'll wrap up. Hunter, we've talked about Alex Collins being able to be the one to get the ball and run for the first down. Obviously, passed away last year. What do you just, hope people and Razorback fans remember about his legacy?
Oh man, yeah, it's really hard to think about, man. Already losing a guy that I played with and was so special to my career. And he was a great guy, honestly. A guy that you know played hard, was very very special with the ball in his hands. He was a guy that we would scheme up a lot of runs, but you always kind of knew if you left a guy in the hole, he was going to make that guy miss. So football wise, man, he was a special dude off the field. He was big in the community. A guy that came from Florida all the way to Arkansas, I remember, and it was special to be able to get him and play all those years with him. We miss him dearly. Wish I could have spent a little bit more time with him, in those latter years once we got in the league. But we definitely miss him. But he's a big part of my career, man. I always remember him and thankful for my time with him.
Well, big thanks to you for joining us right now. That's going to do it. We'll be right back after the break. Thanks again, Hunter.
All right, guys. Thank you.